Our headlines for tonight: President Marcos emphasizes that corrupt officials are not the face of the government amid issues over flood control project.
The Independent Commission for Infrastructure requested to the Justice Department to issue an immigration lookout bulletin against former House Speaker Martin Romualdez and Senator Cheese Escudero.
Senator Alan Peter Cayetano is willing to resign if other lawmakers assures to follow.
U.S. President Donald Trump is concerned over growing unrest in several cities in the U.S.
Los Angeles Lakers star LeBron James shocked the world in his second decision. Good evening, bringing you the latest news for tonight. I am ALVIN PELOBELLO.
And I am KRIZZA Lopez. This is Eurotv News Thread. The details on our broadcast. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. reaffirmed that corruption does not define the Philippine government, emphasizing that many public servants remain honest and dedicated to their duties.
He also reiterated his administration's commitment to accountability through the Independent Commission for Infrastructure, which probes irregularities in the flood control projects. Here's the report.
President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. has stood firm, saying that corrupt government officials are not the face of the government. Marcos emphasized this in the second part of his podcast, Episode 5, amid a stereotype on government officials who are allegedly corrupt. Marcos noted that this does not reflect the honest service of many dedicated government officials.
Corrupt people are not the face of government. All they are is the face of corruption. That's all they are.
The president also praised the hard work and dedication of honest and committed public servants. He also said that many of those working in the government would rather do their work for the Filipinos.
We must respect that people are really working very hard and trying their best. You cannot paint everyone in government with the same brush as all of these corrupt operators that you see in government. And
the president has allocated some funds from the flood control projects to various government agencies, something that the Partyless Coalition Foundation Incorporated supports under the leadership of its new appointed president, House Deputy Majority Leader, and TGP Partyless Representative Jose Bongtaves Jr.
Kami po ay susuporta sa programa at gustong mangyaring imbestigasyon ng ating Pangulo. Kasi kailangan ng taong bayan na malaman ano ba talaga ang nangyari. At ako'y sumusuporta sa Independent Commission of Infrastructure na binuo ng ating Pangulo.
The President established the Independent Commission for Infrastructure on ICI on September 11 to investigate alleged corruption, irregularities, and misuse of the government funds in flood control projects over the past 10 years. The mandate of the ICI includes filing appropriate cases before the Office of the Ombudsman, the Department of Justice, and the Civil Service Commission and other agencies against those involved in corruptions. For Chairman Emeritus of the Alyansa ng Bantay sa Kapayapaan at Demokrasya, Dr. Jose Antonio Guisha, the President's message is clear that he is willing to hold those involved in corruption accountable. For Guisha, the real enemy to the development of the Philippines is corruption, abuse of power, among others. This is ALVIN PELOBELLO for Eurotv News.
To avoid delaying the ongoing flood control investigation, the Independent Commission for Infrastructure or ICI requested the Justice Department to monitor the travel plans of several lawmakers. Included on the list are former Speaker Martin Romualdez and former Senate President Francis Cheese Escudero. More from this report. The Independent Commission for Infrastructure has requested the Department of Justice to closely monitor the travel plans to several lawmakers allegedly involved in the anomalous flood control projects. The request includes the issuance of Immigration Lookout Bulletin Order by the DOJ. On top of the list submitted by the ICI are former House Speaker Martin Romualdez, former Senate President Francis Cheese Escudero, Senator Jinggoy Estrada, and former Senators Ramon Bong Revilla and Nancy Binay. Also included are Quezon City Representatives Arjo Ataide and Patrick Vargas, along with former Congressman Marvin Rillo. Other names on the list include Congressman Marcy Teodoro, Congresswoman Rida Robes, and Representative Maribico Pilar. According to ICI Chairperson Retired Justice Andres Reyes, the ILBO aims to allow the Commission to conduct its investigation without delay or obstruction in holding those involved accountable. The order also directs the Bureau of Immigration to immediately inform the Commission and other law enforcement agencies of any travel plans by the individuals included on the list. It can be recalled that the names mentioned are among those identified in previous investigations, whether by the Senate, House of Representatives, or the Department of Public Works and Highways investigation. This is KRIZZA Lopez for Eurotv News.
Amid the flood control scandal, Senate Committee on Finance Chairperson Senator Win Gatchalian revealed the list of contractors involved in overpriced farm-to-market road projects. Some of these contractors were the same ones who were awarded the most projects in the flood control contracts. Vanessa Cleophas tells us more.
Senator Sherwin Gatchalian, during the Senate Committee on Finance hearing on the proposed 2026 budget of the Department of Agriculture or DA, publicly disclosed the list of contractors who allegedly received extremely overpriced and the most number of farm-to-market road or FMR projects from 2023-2024 up to the present. Among the contractors mentioned were EJB Construction Corporation, Hightone Construction and Development Corporation, and Road Edge Trading and Development Services. The three mentioned company are among the 15 contractors previously named by President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. who secured 20% of the total flood control projects in the country. These companies are also reportedly linked to a Bicol party list representative Saldico. According to Gatchalian, the DA's budget for FMRs in 2026 is 16 billion pesos, which would supposedly cover 1,100 kilometers. On the total amount, based on the Department of Public Works and Highways or DPWH computation, 15 million pesos per kilometer or 15,000 pesos per meter are allocated in every FMR. Gatchalian questioned why the actual cost charged by some contractors for these FMR projects were significantly higher than the standard cost.
In your opinion, anything above 15,000 per square meter or 15 million per meter or per kilometer is considered overpriced?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Tinignan namin yung mga projects in different areas and that ilinista namin yung top 10. Tawag namin extremely overpriced FMRs. Like for example, concreting of Barangay San Roque in Tacloban City, 348,000 per square meter. Per meter. Concreting of Barangay Lagyo in Camarines Sur, 263 per meter. Concreting of Barangay Ubihan, saan ba ito? Maykawayan City, 193,000 per meter. So, hindi lang to extremely overpriced, extremely overpriced, Secretary. Secretary, obvious may overpricing, di ba? At may overpricing, sigurado ako may corruption yan, di ba? Kasi ang layo, 15,000 to 300,000, sobrang layo. Dahil ayaw na namin maulit itong overpricing in 2026, pero alam namin mahalaga ang farm-to-market road to agriculture. Pag walang assurance na maayos yung trabaho ng farm-to-market roads 2026, tatanggalin na lang namin lahat para ilagay na lang sa iba. Kasi kung o-overprice lang ng 300,000 per meter, mauulit lang in 2026, di inulit lang natin yung ligaya ng mga corrupt officials. Diba? That's number one. Number two, kayo gagawa. And assure us na hindi mauulit to.
Agriculture Secretary Francisco T. Laurel Jr. was surprised over the matter and admitted that the department may have been bypassed in the implementation of some of these projects. Aside from overpriced FMRs, Gatchalian also presented data showing regions that overshoot their project budgets. Region 5 topped the list with 1.1 billion pesos overshoot, followed by Region 8 with over 500 million, and then Region 3 and among others. Data also showed that Bicol in Region 5 and Tacloban in Region 8 were the top recipients of FMR projects in both 2023 and 2024. Secretary Tew also clarified that he was not yet the head of the DA in 2023, and by the time he assumed the post in 2024, the budget deliberation had already concluded during the bicameral conference committee. He added that it was only in 2025 that he began handling the DA's budget directly. Tew also explained that the DPWH handles the bidding and awarding of FMR projects, and the DA only validates the projects once they are completed. Meanwhile, Gatchalian revealed that there were also ghost projects identified in Davao Occidental and Zamboanga City, allegedly implemented in 2021 to 2022, which are now under investigation by DPWH Secretary Vince Dizon. Gatchalian warned that if the issue of overpricing in the DA's FMR projects is not resolved, or if the DA does not directly implement this project, the Senate may remove the budget allocation for them and reallocate the funds to other programs.
The DA was still coordinating prior to your entry. The bureaucracy was still in coordination with the DPWH prior to the approval of the BICAM in 2023 before you entered.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
So, in other words, while you personally had no, diba, had no say in the 2023 preparation, the budget for 2024, the DA bureaucracy was involved in it.
Most likely, sir.
So, then maybe the DA bureaucracy involved in it should explain to us how this happened.
Mr. Chair, tinanggal ko yung head nun eh.
Okay. But what is his name?
Engineer Aryudir.
But he is in floating status, or what is his?
No more, resigned.
Okay.
Retired, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chairman, we have two options. Number one, dahil ayaw na namin maulit itong overpricing in 2026, pero alam namin mahalaga ang farm-to-market road to agriculture. Pag walang assurance na maaayos yung trabaho ng farm-to-market roads 2026, tatanggalin na lang namin lahat para ilagay nilang sa iba. Kasi kung overprice lang ng 300,000 per meter, mauulit lang in 2026, edi inulit lang natin yung ligaya ng mga corrupt officials.
This is Vanessa Cleofas for Eurotv News.
Meanwhile, Minority Leader Alan Peter Cayetano is ready to lead the mass resignation if lawmakers assure their commitment to join. He insists that this move will gain back the public's trust in the government. Here's my report.
As Congress continues to face corruption controversies involving flood control projects, Senate Minority Leader Alan Peter Cayetano has expressed readiness to lead a mass resignation of elected officials. In his statement, Cayetano recalled the public outcry during the nationwide protest held on September 21, where some participants called for President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. to resign and for Vice President Duterte to stay in office, while others demanded the opposite, urging Duterte to resign and for Marcos to remain. Reflecting on these opposing calls, Cayetano proposed that all public officials from the highest positions down to members of the House and Senate should step down and refrain from running in the next elections.
Yung September 21, I really believe every single person who went there sincere, gusto ng pagbabago, transformation, fed up na, galit. Pero makikita mo yung leaders, iba-iba direksyon. Meron resign pero wag si Marcos. Resign pero dapat si Sara. Resign pero si Marcos lang. Walang dapat mag-resign, dapat makulong. So dun po nag-start ko ma-discern na what if lang, what if. What if the President, the Vice President, lahat ng Senador, lahat ng Congressman mag-resign and then wag tumakbo ng isang cycle.
He explained that the goal of this proposal is to restore the public trust in government following the misuse of public funds. Cayetano emphasized that such a move could make it easier to hold accountable those involved in corruption.
Lang ako dun sa mga nagko-comment ng ayaw namin mag-resign kayo, gusto namin makulong kayo. Dun sa mga guilty, pag nag-resign, mas madaling ipakulong, hindi mas mahirap. Kasi yung suspect mo nasa gobyerno lahat ngayon eh.
He clarified that he is willing to lead the mass resignation but only if his fellow lawmakers also commit to leaving their positions.
Sabi ko, mag-sacrifice tayo, hindi mag-suicide. Gusto nila, ako lang mag-isa. No problem, yun ang gusto nyo. Pero it will not solve the problem. The problem will have new hope if we do it all as a group. Kung gusto nyo mauna ako, basta't may assurance akong susunod kayo.
Cayetano added that instead of resorting to revolution or a coup d'etat due to public frustration over government deceit, a peaceful transformation and national revival would be a better alternative.
You have the people power that did work partially and we're proud of. Pero since then, cyclical pa rin yung ating corruption at palala ng palala. So I don't think an ordinary people power now na umiba lang ang presidente will solve all of this.
How do you operationalize it, Sen?
I don't
Considering na wala pong
No, I don't need to. Doon nga ako nagtataka sa mga legal
This is KRIZZA Lopez for Eurotv News.
Malacanang Palace welcomed the rise in the country's employment rate to 96.1% in August, vowing to further expand job opportunities as part of the Marcos administration's push for sustained economic recovery. Mia Layagin has more.
The employment rate in the Philippines was recorded at 94.7% in July, the lowest rate since 2023. In August, however, the country's employment rate recovered, post at 96.1%, equivalent to 50.10 million Filipinos with job or businesses. Based on Philippine Statistics Authority's latest labor force survey, the services sector has the largest share in the total employment with 61.5%. This was followed by the agriculture sector at 20.4%, while 18.1% in the industry sector. Following the rise in employment, unemployment rates consequently went down in August, post at 3.9% or about 2.03 million Filipinos unemployed. 10.7% were underemployed. About 5.38 million out of the employed persons who want more job hours or another job. Malacanang welcomed these results, saying that this is a manifestation of the government's approach to address job issues in the country. Palace Press Officer Undersecretary Claire Castro noted that the government continues to secure more and new jobs and working opportunities through job fairs.
Meron po tayong mga job fairs na nagaganap para po mailapit natin ang mga trabaho sa ating mga kababayan. Isa po ito sa nagpapakita na patuloy po ang pag-aalaga ng ating Pangulo sa kapakanan ng bawat isa.
The palace also expressed commitment to continue and strengthen programs towards the creation of new job opportunities for more Filipinos. This is Mia Layagin for Eurotv News.
President Ferdinand Marcos Sr. directed agencies that all government projects must be approved by the local government units before the release of project funds. More from Catherine Landicho.
President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. has ordered that government projects implemented within locality must first undergo review and approval by the concerned local government units or LGUs before the Department of Budget and Management or DBM can release payment. The President emphasized that this directive is part of the government's effort to strengthen transparency and accountability in the implementations of public projects. The measure aims to ensure that project is properly completed, acceptable to the LGU, and meets required standards before it's funded or paid for the national government. Insert SOT. It is expected that this directive will enhance LGU participation in infrastructure projects, implementations, and help prevent corruptions or faulty executions of government projects across the country. This is Catherine Landicho for Eurotv News.
The Office of the Presidential Advisor on Peace, Reconciliation, and Unity assured that peace in the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region remains strong despite the postponement of the first parliamentary elections, viewing the delay as an opportunity to strengthen preparations and deepen local engagement in the peace process. More from Mia Layagin.
The first ever Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao parliamentary elections is easily considered as the biggest and most significant step in full attainment of the peace process agreement between the national government and the Moro Islamic Liberation Front or MILF. The election aims to elect members of the parliament that will appoint the chief minister of the region, a step to achieve genuine and full autonomy of Barma. The PPE was originally set to be conducted along with the 2022 national elections but was postponed due to the COVID-19 pandemic and lack of Bangsamoro electoral code. It was rescheduled synchronous to the May 2025 elections but was once again delayed in October 13. Recent ruling of the Supreme Court further postponed the BPE not later than March 31, 2026. Following the third postponement, many have raised question on its impact on the peace process in Barma. Despite this, Office of the Presidential Advisor on Peace, Reconciliation and Unity Secretary Carlito Galvez expressed confidence that the postponement will not heavily affect the status of peace and order in the region. Citing Commission on Elections reports during BPE preparations, BARM have been generally peaceful and no major election-related violence were reported. Galvez emphasized that amid the delay, the implementation of peace process in BARM intensifies with its people becoming more open about the parliamentary elections.
We have seen relative peace in the area because nakita natin nag-transform na talaga yung mga tao. Yung mga tao, they are busy on making their livelihood. And at the same time, yung mga ginagawa ng ating mga mechanism, yung joint normalization, yung joint transformation camp, they are doing it na talagang very, very peacefully and at the same time with cordial coordination with the MILF and the MNLF.
The Secretary believes that the postponement was an advantage instead, allowing more time to furnish the preparations for the first ever BARM parliamentary polls. This provided more time to strengthen peace and order in the region, further legalize independent laws, and educate its residents further.
Mas maganda rin na mayroong mga delay na ganito para at least magkaroon tayo ng protection dun sa legal indemnities ng tinatawag nating Bangsamoro Act. And I think it will give more time for the transitioning of the BARM kasi we think that more time na maibigay sa kanila, mas maganda yung preparation. In fact, nakita nga namin sa baba, kulang na kulang yung education sa mga tao. Especially yung education sa mga tao kasi this is the first time na magkakaroon tayo ng parliamentary. Different from the usual election that we had.
OPAPRU is also studying possible tripartite agreement between the national government, BARM parliamentary, and the region's local government units to ensure successful implementation of government programs. Galvez recognized the role of LGUs in bringing government programs and services closer to the people.
We are advising na magkaroon ng tinatawag na parang tripartite arrangement between the national government and the Bangsamoro government and the LGU. Because during our Peace Education Summit, nagkaroon kami ng revelation, our peace research. Nang pagkakita natin yung ang local government, medyo 70% ng project hindi nagiging successful at saka hindi nagiging sustainable. So ang recommendation namin is to have a partnership on the implementation so that kasi ang pinaka-endpoint talaga namin, even the farm government, ang endpoint talaga is yung local government unit.
This is Mia Layagin for Eurotv News.
A Filipino seafarer was killed in a Houthi militant attack on the Dutch flag cargo ship MV Minerva Grach in the Gulf of Aden on September 29. The Department of Migrant Workers has confirmed the incident and assured full government support for the victim's family as preparation efforts are underway. More from this report.
A Filipino seafarer of the MV Minerva Grach died after sustaining serious injuries following an attack by Houthi militants on a Dutch flag cargo vessel in the Gulf of Aden on September 29. Migrant Worker Secretary Hans Leo Kakdak himself confirmed the death of a Filipino seafarer. Kakdak is now headed to Djibouti with the Philippine Embassy, Department of Foreign Affairs, and the ship owner to arrange the repatriation of the remains of the Filipino. The official will also visit other seafarers who were injured and are still recovering in the hospital. The secretary is accompanied by the wife and sister of the deceased crew member. The DMW has also extended its condolences to the bereaved Filipinos' family. Based on the directive of President Ferdinand Marcos Jr., the government will provide full support and assistance to the family of the victim. 10 Filipino seafarers of MV Minerva Grach have safely returned home on October 5. The Houthis attacked the ship due to the ongoing war between Israel and Palestine. This is ALVIN PELOBELLO for Eurotv News.
The Department of Transportation has ordered a perpetual revocation of the driver's license of the motorist involved in the Teresa Rizal road rage incident after CCTV footage showed him deliberately ramming a motorcycle and injuring a student rider. Details from Henry Nicolas.
The Department of Transportation or DOTR recommended the driver's license of the driver of the electric car to be perpetually revoked after hitting a motorcycle on purpose in Teresa Rizal. The scene were captured through CCTV where the electric car rammed a motorcycle after allegedly hitting its wheel. In another CCTV angle, it can be seen that the vehicle chasing the student riding his motorcycle eventually tossed in the road. The teenager sustained various abrasions on his body after the incident. In accordance with the President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos' directives to hold irresponsible drivers accountable for endangering the lives of road users, the OTR wants the license of the driver to be revoked. Acting Secretary Giovanni Lopez immediately directed the Land Transportation Office or LTO to find the driver to revoke his license for life. Based on the report, the driver of the vehicle did not have a license because he was driving an electric vehicle that time. Lopez said the man had no right to drive on the road, saying that even if it was true that he was hit, it does not mean that he had the right to chase and hit the victim. Lopez will also talk to the student's family, and the agency is also ready to provide a lawyer to file a case against the driver. The DOTR is also coordinating with the police regarding the incident. The LTO is set to issue a show cause order against the driver of the vehicle today. This is Henry Nicolas for Eurotv News.
Thousands of families were forced to evacuate as more than 60,000 houses were damaged due to the 6.9 magnitude earthquake that struck Cebu. Let's have the full report from Vanessa Cleophas.
The National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council or NDRRMC reported that more than 62,000 houses have been damaged in Cebu and nearby provinces following the magnitude 6.9 earthquake that struck the province. Majority of the damaged homes were reported in Bogo City. According to the agency's report, 57,677 houses were partially damaged, while 4,854 were totally destroyed. In addition, 733 infrastructures in the province also affected by the earthquake. The Department of Social Welfare and Development or DSWD has set up family tents to serve as temporary shelters for families who lost their homes. As of now, around 179,252 families or approximately 669,774 individuals are still affected by the powerful quake that hit Cebu. The death toll has risen to 72, while 559 people have been injured and are currently receiving treatment in various medical facilities. Meanwhile, the Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology or PHIVOLCS has recorded a total of 9,108 aftershocks since the earthquake struck in Cebu. This is Vanessa Cleophas for Eurotv News.
The Philippine Red Cross set up portable toilet and shower facilities for the victims of earthquake in Cebu. Kathleen Landicho tells us more.
Philippine Red Cross started installing portalettes and shower facilities in the 10 cities in Cebu.
The Philippine Red Cross or PRC has started installing portalets and shower facilities at the tent city in Cebu to ensure proper sanitation and comfort for the families affected by the recent 6.9 magnitude earthquake. Following its distribution of tents, blood supply, food, water, medical care, and ambulance services, the PRC continues its comprehensive, compassionate, and holistic response addressing sanitation needs and evacuation areas. Through its commitment to always be first, always ready, and always present, the Red Cross remains steadfast in providing relief and upholding the dignity of the most vulnerable. Meanwhile, PRC also continues to distribute charitimba, hygiene kits, blankets, and other essential items to families in the established tent city.
This is Catherine Landicho for Eurotv News.
A man from Tondo, Manila was shot dead inside his own home. Authorities claim that a business territory conflict is the motive for the killing. Shai Morales has more.
A man can be seen eating his dinner inside his house in Barangay 105 Tondo, Manila when two gunmen suddenly arrived and shot the victim in the head. The footage shows the crime, and authorities identified the victim as Ronaldo Estrada, a 36-year-old resident of Manila. After the first suspect shot the victim, a second suspect also shot Estrada in the head, causing him to fall prostrate on the floor. In another angle of the CCTV footage from outside the residence, the three suspects can be seen lunging towards the place. The gunshots fired in succession can also be seen in the footage. According to the initial report of the Manila Police District, the conflict in business territories between the suspect and the victim is seen as the motive of the crime. The conflict also involved illegal activities related to electrical and water jumpers in the barangay between the victim and the suspects. Now the suspects will be charged in violation of Article 248 of the Revised Penal Code or murder by shooting. Currently, one of the suspects, identified as alias Teteng, is now under police custody.
Meanwhile, follow-up operations by the police are still on the run to track down and catch the two other suspects, identified as alias Naldo and alias Tuto, who are still currently at large. This is Shai Morales reporting for Eurotv News.
U.S. President Donald Trump has voiced alarm over escalating unrest in major cities like Chicago and Portland, ordering a wider National Guard deployment and warning he may invoke the Insurrection Act if local authorities fail to restore order. Son Santiago for the report. Hikers and local guides were trapped in the Mount Everest due to powerful snowstorm in the famous mountain. Son Santiago returns.
About 900 tourists and local guides were stranded after a powerful snowstorm struck near the Chinese side of Mount Everest in Tibet over the weekend. According to China's state media, around 580 tourists and 300 local guides have since been rescued after being trapped when the storm hit the eastern slope of Mount Everest. The blizzard blanketed the high-altitude valley about 4,200 meters above sea level with heavy snow. Rescue teams brought the stranded groups to a designated rescue point in Tibet where they were provided with food, medicine, and heating. Meanwhile, local officials said several tourists suffered from hypothermia but are now in stable condition. On the other hand, search and rescue operations are still ongoing. This is Son Santiago for Eurotv News.
Philippine boxing legend Manny Pacquiao announced his new potential fight to be held in January 2026. Meanwhile, NBA player LeBron James' collaboration ad caused panic among his fans. More stories in the world of sports from Kyle Basa.
This is for your sports news today. LeBron James posted a teaser video on his Instagram account about the second decision.
The whole basketball community was shocked when it was trending on social media. Others already started making a tribute video of LeBron as they are thinking about his retirement. It also shows his influence not just in basketball, but in life.
The answer to the question everybody wants to know. LeBron, what's your decision?
In this fall, man, this is very tough. In this fall, I'm going to take my talents to South Beach and join the Miami Heat.
Miami Heat.
Back in 2010, ESPN aired a video about LeBron James' decision on where he is going to take his in an NBA team. It was titled The Decision. On the video, he announced that he would be playing for the Miami Heat, wherein he played 4 seasons and won 2 championship titles. Fans are on guard with the scheduled post of LeBron and to have closure on whether he will retire after this NBA season or not. Fortunately, it was only a video ad regarding the collaboration of him and the Hennessy VSOP.
And more, you know, and that's what I did a few years ago. I put myself in a position to have this process.
It was a sigh of relief for the fans as he will not be retiring. The King will still play for the Los Angeles Lakers for his 23rd season in the NBA, and fans are secured with the fact that they will enjoy watching and supporting him without fear of him retiring after this season.
Manny Pacquiao will once again enter the ring. The target date, January 2026, where we'll witness his greatness and flashiness as the Philippines representative in boxing.
After his great performance against the WBC welterweight title champion Mario Barrios this previous July, there is no doubt that Pacquiao can still perform on the big stage. Their battle ended up in a draw, wherein Barrios retained his title as champion. But Pacquiao beats the hardest opponent to any athlete. It is father time. There are no signs of slowing down on Pacquiao. He still looked like his prime self despite coming out of a retirement for 4 years. There is no confirmation as to who will be his next opponent. His fight next January 2026 will be held in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Stay tuned for more sports news only here in Eurotv News. Once again, I am Kyle Basa. Back to you, Alvin and KRIZZA.
Thanks there, Kyle. While Blackpink member Kim Jisoo and former One Direction member Zayn Malik confirmed their collaboration for a new song. More details from Sam Marcos.
Let's slip into the world of entertainment for our showbiz news. 2 voices, 1 orbit, because it's now confirmed. The collaboration between South Korean singer Jisoo and former One Direction member Zayn Malik for their digital single. It's officially confirmed. Kim Jisoo, one of the members of South Korean girl group Blackpink, also known as Jisoo, is collaborating with former One Direction member Zayn Malik for their digital single titled Eyes Closed. They shared it on their social media account today through a poster attached some parts of the lyrics of the song. It can be remembered that social media buzzed recently with the speculation about collaboration between Malik and Jisoo after Jisoo posted a photo featuring a man with his back turned into a blurred background caption, "A do it is near." This is one of the latest songs from Jisoo to be released following her extended play Amortage, which includes other track titled Earthquake, Your Love, Tears, and A Hug and Kisses. Meanwhile, the song Eyes Closed will be available for streaming on October 10, 2025. And that's our entertainment news. Once again, I'm Sam Martos. Back to you, KRIZZA and ALVIN.
Thanks, Sam Martos. And that's the latest news for tonight. You may visit yourtvph.com for more news and information. Once again, I am KRIZZA.
You can also catch our live broadcast through our social media accounts and via Extreme channel. I'm ALVIN PELOBELLO. Thanks for joining us. This is Eurotv Newsfeed. Stay safe and have a good night, everyone. What's the matter?